pretty difficult question to answer because there are so many factors that become very important depending on the nature of your project. That being said, industry experience is always one of the go-to answers that really carries a lot of weight in finding that right consultant. Beyond that, however, definitely cultural fit, I would say, is incredibly important to ensure that that consultant can seamlessly integrate with a client environment and make sure they're providing value in the right communication style, in the right manner, in the right cadence that a given client needs. So beyond kind of that industry experience and that cultural fit, I would also say a general organization, professionalism, ability to articulate, to organize information is one of the things that you should be looking at in any consultant, regardless of whether it's an ERP project or some other type of initiative. You definitely want to be able to aggregate lots of information that's being collected and then display it and organize it in a fashion that's useful to a business so that the right decisions can be made in terms of the project. I think it's really important to develop and foster that trusted advisor role, meaning that you bring an outside perspective and become an expert in various parts of an organization with which you're working, so that you can really do your best to bring value to them they might not see internally on their own. I think really the biggest aspect of this that's most important, I would say, is definitely integrity and honesty with a client. You really do have to be willing to speak truth to power, to give them hard truths, and to provide your perspective even when it's difficult. This is definitely a challenge of being a consultant, but it's also a very rewarding process since you have the opportunity to really affect change in your client organizations. I'd say one of the challenges about being a consultant would really be the variation that you can have between different projects, between different clients. Sometimes that's a struggle to move from one organization to the next when you've spent so much time learning about an organization's culture and people and processes and really becoming part of that organization in your own right. Having to shift to a new project can sometimes be a little bit jarring, but it also keeps the job dynamic. One story that I like to tell that I really think captures the essence of the importance of not just consulting, but of change management in consulting as well, is a story I've actually encountered personally working with a large client that was looking to implement a new accounting system. The controller in this case, however, had been working with an incumbent system for over 10 years and truly believed that there was no other product on the face of the planet that could come close to meeting their needs. So this clearly represented a challenge, as the controller is a pretty influential individual in any given organization, and this needed to be overcome in order to have a successful project moving forward with a new package that could not only meet the needs but acquire buy-in from all of the stakeholders, including that controller. So to address this process, we really took it in chunks. We made sure that we weren't trying to force any decision down the throat of this controller in the short term, but we really invited them to come along with us through the journey of looking at other packages, of going through the selection process, and ultimately ending up with detailed demonstrations providing how other packages would provide the same functionality that could address the business needs of this given client. So eventually, after viewing several products, after having a chance to ask many questions, and looking at different ways of addressing the same problem, this controller came full circle to being a staunch supporter of one particular product that was new but would definitely meet the needs of this given client. So I really think of that as a key success story that I've personally lived through in terms of managing change and being able to positively affect it without being overly pushy with different clients.